or spinning wickets, not just in Asia. Will says, you mentioned a lot recently how there's no statistical evidence that left armers footmarks help an off spinner. It's a left arm finger spinner, not. Oh, sorry, no, it is an off spinner. You're right. Sorry, now I'm getting confused. Will, you're correct. Have you found any other myths that have no statistical backing but are regularly used on commentary and by coaches? Yeah, so the big one when I first started was that coaches would obsess about the first ball of an over. So that, you know, they would talk about winning the first ball of the over and how important it was. But when you looked at the data, the first ball of the over actually had no outcome on the rest of the game at all. I can't remember. Let's say it's a T20 game and your first ball of the over goes for 4 or it goes for a dot ball. You still pretty much over the next 5 balls going to have 1.3 runs and over. 1.3 runs a ball scored regardless. You know, so it doesn't change anything there. So that was a big one. The other one is left-hand, right-hand combinations. One thing I looked up at specifically was, you know, we hear left-hand, right-hand combinations bother bowlers, and that there are more wides bowled because of left-hand, right-hand combinations. And I'm pretty sure I did a piece for Crick Info many years back now that actually shows that in one-day cricket and T20 cricket, you have more wides bowled in when there are 2 left-handers than when there are right-handers. So it's not the left-hand, right-hand that bothers bowlers. It's the left-handers in general. And I don't know. I haven't looked at recently to see if left-handers still get more wides. But that was certainly something else that I was told and believed. It made sense, you know. But left-handers are more of the problem than anything else. I'm trying to think. There's the third one that I want to say makes sense, but I can't think about it off the top of my head. But mostly there is a sense of truth in the things that players say, and it makes sense. And they might have got it slightly wrong for a few different things. Oh, actually, the other thing that we do know is, and this isn't just with data, but also just talking to players, the whole thing of you know, he didn't pick the slower ball. Well, you know, if you're watching on YouTube now, I'll be able to show you, but a back of the hand slower ball looks very different than a front of the hand slower ball. And, you know, there are certainly times when players don't pick them. More often than not, it's because the ball is doing something so weird. So back of the hand slower ball goes up out of the hand, which means your first thing is, oh my God, it's coming at my head. It's coming at my head. We should clip that for social. But whereas, and then it dips at the end. And so even if you've picked it, your first instinct might be, oh my God. And then you think, and then you're trying to play a shot, you may be already out of position. And so I think that's the other thing that we talk about a lot. The other one is the conversation again about slow balls and what pace they should be. Your slow ball, and I'm saying this if you're a club cricketer or if you're a professional, your slow ball pace is very unimportant. There are certain situations where you want to change it up. You know, there are certain wickets where you want to put more revs on the ball because you want to get it stuck in the surface more. If you've got a back of the hand slow ball, there are certainly ones where you want to maybe put, again, you want to get more bounce or whatever that may be. But essentially, when it comes to slow balls, the pace doesn't matter. What matters is what the ball is doing or whether it can be picked. Those are the only 2 things you should focus on. So if you have a slow ball and it's very easy to be picked and it doesn't do anything special as it travels down to the batter, as in it doesn't curve, it doesn't spin, it doesn't dip, it doesn't bounce, any of those things, then it doesn't matter if it's 5 kilometers slower or 40 kilometers slower, it's going to get whacked, right? It's not going to be a very good slow ball. Having said that, if it can't be picked, then that 5K drop is really, really important. And I think those are the things off the top of my head, Will. It's a really good question, actually. Those are the ones off the top of my head that make a lot of sense.